Hello everyone, a very good morning. Welcome to the Power Pack Marathon class for our Module C, the JAIIB for November 2025. We have already completed our Module A. Yesterday we completed the Module B. Today in this session we'll be discussing the MCQs, case studies, the theoretical concepts of our Module C. Module C is extremely simple, completely theoretical. It has 6 units, and if we talk about the priority and the exam weightage, we can expect around 5 to 10 mark questions or maybe 15 mark questions from our Module C. It is very simple, mostly case study based, and that too very easy. All right. So the same thing we'll be doing. You'll get questions on the screen. I will give you 10 seconds to answer, and then we'll be discussing the correct answer and the related theoretical concept. Quickly share the session with your other fellow aspirants so that they can also participate in this live session. All right, okay. So let us start with the first question. Before we start with the questions, here's a brief description of our first unit from Module C, which is marketing and introduction. So, marketing in retail banking basically means identifying the most profitable markets now and in the future, assessing the present and the future needs of the customers, setting the business development goals, adapting to the changing environment. For that, we'll be needing to identify the customers' needs, appropriate products will be developed to satisfy their needs, providing them the efficient delivery channels, and making them avail the product continuously. So, the marketing in retail banking can have 4 stages. First is the marketing analysis stage, where the organization focuses on analyzing the markets, the marketing environment in which it would be introducing the product. So here the organization does the SWOT analysis. The strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. What are the strength of our organization? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities in the market? And what are the threats? Second stage will be the marketing planning. Based on the SWOT analysis, we will now define the SBUs, the goals. We will chalk out a plan. This plan, the product brand, it is known as the offering. So we create the draft or the product offering in the marketing planning. We plan our next stage of action. Then, in the third stage, the marketing implementation, we implement the plan that was created, performing the activities in the right manner. Who, where, when, and how. Who is going to introduce the product, where, when, and how, the delivery channel, right? Blending the people, culture, action program. Finally, we have the fourth stage, which is the marketing control. Marketing control means adapting to the changing environment, auditing, measuring, evaluating, acting upon the defined parameters. We can do the control in 2 ways: reactive methodology and the proactive methodology. Reactive means when something happens, then take the corrective action. Proactive means consistently auditing, seeing what all is going on, and in the process taking actions. So these are the 4 stages of marketing and in retail banking. There's also the marketing mix in retail banking, the ingredients in the marketing mix. We start with the product, anything that has the capacity to provide satisfaction and use to the customer. Then the price can be the interest rate which is offered on the deposits, or it can be the interest rate which is charged on the loan product. Then we have promotion, advertisement, and promotion, so that customer awareness is created so that the product can reach the customer. So promotion refers to the awareness. Then place where the bank is offering the product. Is it offering the product through the physical models, the branch, or through the remote delivery channels, mobile banking, internet banking? People, again, people can be the internal officers who are taking care of the marketing strategy, or it can be the customers. So both the insiders as well as the customers process, whether the horizontal process is being used in-house, is being used for product development, product structuring and delivery, right? The various models and physical evidence, because the banking products are basically intangible. They are services, so providing some physical attributes, like along with the savings account, debit card, ATM card, checkbook, passbook. These attempts are made for bringing tangibility to the service spectrum, right? That is all from our marketing. All of these seven P's are both dependent, independent, and interdependent. Their success will depend not only on their individual success, but also the other factors will contribute in their effectiveness. All of these P's are interlinked. One P will be a deciding factor for the effectiveness of the other P. If let's say we have a very good product, but we do not price it correctly, or we do not do the promotion, it will lead to loss for us. Similarly, if the process is not correctly used, again it will be a loss. So this is how the marketing mix works. Now let us try to solve some questions. First, a case study, because from module C, maximum case studies are asked. Let us go through it together. A company named EcoGlow Limited is preparing to launch a new line of solar powered lamps. The team begins by analyzing the competitive landscape and the consumer preferences in the urban and rural market. They conduct a SWOT analysis, define the key opportunities in government subsidies and rising environmental awareness. They say that because government is providing subsidies and environmental awareness is also increasing, so there will be an increased demand of the solar powered lamp. Next, they define the SBUs. They draft the marketing plan targeting the eco conscious consumers, positioning the product as cost effective, sustainable. They then implement, they set up the reward system, analyze the organizational structure, and finally, post launch, they do periodic audits and evaluate the effectiveness. So, which of the following correctly maps the stages in the marketing of the company? What is the stages in their approach? Planning, analysis, control, implementation. Analysis, planning, implementation, control. Implementation, planning, control, or analysis, or control, analysis, planning, and implementation. So, first, what did they do? They conducted the SWOT analysis. Analysis is the first stage. Based on that, they planned that they are going to target the eco conscious customers, position the product as cost effective, sustainable. Then they implemented their plan, and finally, they controlled by auditing and evaluation. So, the correct answer is B. So, although this case study seems to be lengthy, but it was very simple. And the case studies in the exams will be minimum 2 mark questions. So, do not skip the case studies. You can easily score these 2 marks. Which of the following statements about marketing control is or are true? It is performed before marketing planning, involves auditing and evaluating. Corrective action may be taken at strategic or operational level. It must be periodic and unbiased. So it is not performed after planning. It is performed after market implementation. All right, so the correct answer should be C, 2, 3, and 4. Rest all the statements are correct. We evaluate and we audit the defined parameters. We take corrective action either in the reactive or in the proactive manner. All right, it should be periodic and unbiased. all the factors, whether they are working according to the plan or not, that will be taken into consideration. It should be comprehensive, systematic, independent upon the relevance of the control aspects of the parameters, acting upon the defined parameters. All right. Next, which of the following statements correctly defines the price in the context of asset product? Fee charged for the ATM usage, interest offered on the fixed deposit, cost of promotional activities, interest rate quoted to the borrower customers. So the price can be two types of prices are there. Both of them are interest charged on the loans or the interest paid on the liabilities. So here price is the interest rate quoted to the borrower customers, right? Because we are talking about the asset products only. If the question was about the liability products, then the answer would be B, interest rate offered on fixed deposit. But right now we are asking about the asset products, so it will be interest rate quoted to the borrower customer. The correct answer is D. See, if you have the conceptual clarity, you can easily answer. That is why in the beginning only I told you about the 7 P's. All right. Again, another case study is given. Retail bank named Nova Bank is launching a new digital savings product. The product offers competitive interest rates, includes a personalized debit card, promotes it. The bank is promoting the product via social media ads, SMS campaigns, in branch posters. Customers can open the account via mobile app or visit the branch. The onboarding process is streamlined through automated KYC and instant activation. The bank is also training its staff to handle queries. Which of the following correctly maps the 7 P's involved in the bank's strategy? What is the product? Is the product digital saving, debit card, KYC, or posters? So the product is the digital saving account. What is the price? Price is the competitive interest rate being offered, right? What is the place? It is offering the product through mobile app or by branch, both is offering, right? So mobile app or visit the branch. Promotion is done by social media, SMS campaigns, in branch posters. The people is the staff because the staff is being trained to handle queries, and the process is KYC and instant activation. Physical evidence is that it is offering a personalized debit card. All right, so like this, we need to figure out what the case study is asking us. Thus, we have the correct answer now. It is A, which is the correct answer. All right, do not get worried, do not get scared seeing the size of the question. The questions are very simple. Moving on. Next unit is the delivery channels in retail banking. Now, the delivery channels in retail banking can be physical or direct channels, or they can be electronic and remote channels. Physical channels are branch and the extension counters. Remote channels are ATMs, internet banking, mobile banking. In the physical channels, we also have the business correspondent and the business facilitators. In the branch layout and ambience is important. Service delivery quality is important. Personal bank branches. The business correspondent are deployed by the banks to provide reachability in the unbanked rural segment for financial inclusion, right? The difference between both are also important. In the remote channels, ATMs are there, on-site ATM, off-site ATMs, white label ATMs. You need to read about the transactions at the bank's own ATMs, how many free transactions are there in metro location, non-metro location. Then internet banking, mobile banking, UPI, Bheem QR, the Aadhaar enabled payment bridge. All of these topics are there in this particular unit. So let us now answer the questions. Which of the following activities is permitted for a business correspondent but not for a business facilitator? Referring clients to the bank, pursuing clients' proposals, facilitating transactions, executing transactions on behalf of the bank. What is the benefit of the business correspondent business facilitator channel? It offers an effective medium to reach out the unbanked population in the remote corners of the country. A rural branch can serve at most 4,000 to 5,000 families in 14 to 15 villages, but it will require minimum 5 years to break even. But the business correspondent channel enables to reach the same population without any creation of the bank infrastructure, right? So the profit will be more. Also, it enables the banks to achieve financial inclusion, facilitates doorstep banking. Banks are assured of better quality because the clients are known to the local NGOs, post offices, panchayat offices. It is cost effective and easier. Now, as per the guidelines, the business correspondents are allowed to make transactions on behalf of the bank and serve as the customers. They serve the customers as agent of the bank. The business facilitators, however, are only permitted to refer the client, pursue the client's proposal, and facilitate the bank to carry out transaction. They're not allowed to personally do the transactions like the business correspondents are allowed, right? So the activity permitted for the business correspondent is executing the transactions on behalf of the bank, and this is not allowed for the business facilitator. All right, next question. Which of the following conditions must be met for a customer to be eligible for compensation for a failed ATM transaction? See, failed ATM transaction means that when the amount was debited from the customer's account but the cash was not dispensed. This is the failed ATM transaction. The first step by the bank should be to recredit the customer's account within a maximum of T plus 5 days, right? But here the customer should make a complaint, right? When the customers make a complaint from that day within T plus 5 days, they need to make the recredit. The customer has to lodge the complaint within 30 days of the transaction, otherwise they will not be eligible to claim the compensation. Compensation is that if the bank fails in recrediting, delays in recrediting the amount beyond T plus 5 days from the date of receipt of complaint, they have to pay a compensation of rupees 100 per day without the customer making any claim, right? This compensation should be credited to the account of the customer without any claim being made by the customer. All right, so it has to be filed within 30 days. A customer named Ramesh holding a savings account with Bank A performs 7 ATM transactions in a month, 3 at the bank's own ATMs and 4 at other bank's ATM in Mumbai. One of the transactions at another bank ATM fails, and Ramesh lodges a complaint in 10 days. 10 days later, the bank recredits the amount after 9 days from the date of complaint. So here, compensation will definitely be given because T plus 5 is the maximum days. For 4 days, additional rupees 100 per day. So 400 will be the compensation paid. Which of the following statement is correct? He will be charged rupees 21 for one transaction at other bank ATM. He is eligible for rupees 400 compensation for delayed recredit. He is not eligible due to the late complaint. He exceeded the free transaction limit at the own bank ATM. So when we are talking about the transaction limits in the ATMs, transaction at the own bank ATM at any location, 5 free transactions are there at own ATM, 3 were there, so he did not exceed the free transaction limit own bank in a month, irrespective of the location. Transaction at other banks ATM, let's say I have the ATM card, I have an account in ABC Bank, but I'm using the card in the ATM of bank XYZ in the metro location Mumbai, New Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore. The bank must offer a minimum of 3 free transactions. 3 free transactions in a month, and beyond that, beyond 3 free transactions, rupees 21 has to be paid by the customer. This is the metro location, so Mumbai is a metro location, so he will be charged rupees 21 for one transaction at the other bank ATM. This is true. All right. Also, at any other location other than the metro location, 5 free transactions should be there in the other bank ATM as well. So the correct answer should be A. He will be charged 21 rupees for one transaction at the other bank's ATM. All right. Is this correct? Yes. Consider the following statements about the point of sale terminal operations. POS terminal transmits sales data for posting against customer accounts. Net settlement may occur immediately or later depending upon the system made. The store and forward mode operates online with real time authorization. The point of sale terminals are used for sale or purchase transaction. Now, when we are talking about the point of sale terminals, they are enablers of payment of credit and debit card in the merchant establishment. They facilitate the payment of amount. It is an electronic transaction. The terminal interacts with a computer file to authorize the details, right? To approve the transaction and transmit the sale information. There are two types of point of sale terminals. First is cash, the electronic cash registers, right? Electronic. And the second is the dial up terminal. Dial up terminal. The electronic cash registers are used by the high volume merchants like the departmental store. Dial up terminals, they automatically dial a special telephone number to obtain the authorization. Net settlement may occur at the same time as the transaction or soon after that. It may occur later in the day, right? If they operate offline in the store and forward mode. So this type of system operates offline. The merchant terminal is not directly connected to the central computer for the authorization. All right. So the correct answer is option B, 1, 2, and 4. The store and forward mode does not operate online. Later in the day, the transaction will be completed. Okay. So the correct answer is 1, 2, and 4. Which of the following statements are true about the interbank payment gateways? Each gateway must nominate a clearing bank. Settlement must be intraday and preferably real time. Credit card payments are included in the gateway settlement. Bilateral contracts must define the legal rights and obligation. When we are talking about the internet banking, when we are talking about the internet banking, there are 3 levels of internet banking. Basic level, websites, dissemination of information. Next is the simple transactional website, submitting instruction, application can be made for different services, queries for account balances. They do not permit any fund-based transaction. Third level is the fully transactional website. Accounts can be operated, transfer of funds, payment of different bills, subscribing to other products, everything. Now when we are talking about the Internet payment gateways, that comes under the third part, right? The third part. So here the correct answer, the internet interbank payment gateways, they should have capabilities of both net and gross settlement. The settlement should be intraday as far as possible in real time. Only institutions who are members of the check clearing system will be permitted to participate in the interbank payment gateways, and they must nominate a bank as a clearing bank to settle all transaction. Credit cards, cross border e-commerce transaction, they should be excluded. So the correct answer is A, 1, 2 and 4. Credit card payment or payment arising out of cross-border e-commerce transaction, and the intra-bank payment should be excluded from settlement through the interbank payment gateway. Other all statements are correct. Which of the following is true regarding the encryption requirement for the mobile banking transaction? All transaction must use end-to-end encryption. Transaction above 5,000 rupees must use end-to-end encryption. Below 5,000 rupees transactions are prohibited. Encryption is optional for all the IMPS transaction. So when we are talking about mobile banking, mobile apps are developed by almost all the banks. Banks are permitted to offer the mobile banking services through SMS, mobile banking application, or the USSD, right, after obtaining permission from the Department of Payment and Settlement Systems of RBI. When we are talking about the encryption standard, a transaction limit of 50,000 per customer per day has been mandated, right? And the encryption is there for transaction above 5,000 rupees. The banks, they can facilitate transaction up to 5,000 rupees without end-to-end encryption. Above that, encryption is required. Okay. Which infrastructure does NPCI use to operate the IMPS? The IMPS, immediate payment service, interbank mobile fund transfer are channeled through the that were channeled through the NEFT mechanism, right? They were settled in branches. RTGS can also be used, but NPCI conducted this pilot study, and accordingly the IMPS was launched, right? So now this service is available to the Indian public 24/7, interbank electronic fund transfer service through the mobile phones. So the existing NFS switch is being used to operate the the IMPS. All right. So the criteria, banks who can participate in IMPS should have an approval from RBI from the mobile banking service, and through the NFS switch it will be facilitated. Right? All financial, non-financial transaction can be initiated using IMPS. Which of the following IMPS transaction modes require both sender and receiver to be registered for the mobile banking and possess the MMID? Aadhaar based, account number based, ATM based, MMID and mobile number based. Now, IMPS service, when we are talking about, I can send, receive funds using the MMID 24/7 interbank. Simply the sender and the receiver have to register for the mobile banking and get the MMID, 7-digit code, right? Different MMIDs can be linked to the same mobile number. If I'm using the IFSC code and account number, if the beneficiary mobile number is not registered, then by giving the details of their account number and the IFSC, I can still initiate the payment. Using Aadhaar number, remitter can initiate IMPS transaction using the beneficiary's Aadhaar number also. All right, so here both the members should be registering their mobile number under the MMID and the mobile number based transfer. Full form of MMID is the mobile money ID. So in this, both the beneficiary and the remitter, they should have registered their account, their mobile number. All right. Consider the following statements about the UPI's operational features. UPI supports both push and pull transactions, available 24/7, 365 days. It requires the payer to disclose their account number to the payee. The UPI supports barcode based payment. It is available 24/7. Both push and pull based transactions are allowed in the UPI, and the UPI also allows the barcode based payment, but giving the account number to the payee is not important. So the correct answer is A, 1, 2, and 4 only. Right? 1, 2, and 4 only. Which of the following statements about the Beam transactions are true? Beam supports real-time fund transfer from using UPI, correct. NPCI charges a nominal fee from each Beam transaction. No. From the Beam transaction, Bharat interface money, here NPCI does not transfer anything. The Bharat interface for money, simple, easy, quick payment using the virtual payment address, UPI based payment network. NPCI is the promoter and it does not charge anything for transaction on the Bheem. Individual bank may charge for availing the facility, but NPCI does not. Bheem allows users to save beneficiary details, and it can be used for both pay and collect. If someone is giving a request to collect fund, it can be rejected or it can be accepted. Simply, the user needs to have their mobile number registered with the bank and a debit card linked to that account. The user will download the app and they will use the Bheem app. All right. Using the VPA, mobile number, or the Aadhaar number, I can spend up to 20,000 per transaction, maximum of 40,000 per day for one account. All right. So these are the features of the Bheem application. 1, 3, and 4 is correct. Which of the following is not supported under the UPI 123 pay? Now, what is UPI 123 pay? It is basically for providing UPI services to the feature phone users without internet connection. It was launched in 2022. Instant payment service for the feature phone users. They can use the UPI payment service, right? They can conduct a host of transactions. Which of the following cannot be done? Missed call based payment, IVR based transaction, QR code is not allowed, proximity sound based payments are allowed. So through the IVR number, customers are required to initiate simply a secured call from their registered feature phone to a predefined IVR number, and they will complete the UPI onboarding facility, right? Payment through missed call can also be done. There's a number that is specified. We will give a missed call on the number and then enter the UPI pin to facilitate the transaction. The OTP will be used for the first time verification. Feature phone, OEM, that is the mobile phone manufacturers, they develop a special app for the feature phone, and voice based payment can also be done, right? It is in collaboration. Tone tag supported by NSDL payment bank. The technology uses sound waves to enable the contactless proximity data communication, right? But QR code based transaction is not allowed. In the case of a third party breach, when does a customer retain zero liability? When there is unauthorized transaction, zero liability of the customer will be when there's a third party breach or the contributory fraud or negligence or deficiency on the part of the branch. When there is a deficiency on the part of the bank, then Doesn't matter whether the customer makes the complaint or not, there will be zero liability. But if it is a third party breach where the deficiency lies neither with the bank nor with the customer, somewhere else in the system, and the customer notifies the bank within 3 working days, then the customer will retain zero liability. Otherwise, if they make a delay, then the liability will be determined as per the bank's internal policy. Limited liability of the customer, where the loss is due to the negligence by the customer, they have to bear the entire loss until they report the unauthorized transaction to the bank. After reporting, if anything happens, then the bank is going to bear the loss. If it is a third party breach and the customer fails to give the information, right, beyond 3 days, 4 to 7 days, then limited liability they will have to bear as per the bank approved policy. That is all about the delivery channels of the unit 18. Next, we have the delivery models. The unit 19, service delivery models can be through the branch and beyond branch. We are now talking about the offline delivery. Offline delivery can be made through the branch. In the branch, we have the branch staff and the dedicated marketing managers. And beyond branch, we have the direct selling associate. When we talk about the internal customer, the staff of the branch, they should have certain characteristics like understanding the customer, cross selling the right product, follow up, customer empathy, understanding the product features. When dedicated marketing managers are appointed from those who have, they are specialized marketing managers, they have an MBA in marketing, appointed from the campuses. They are appointed in the junior management and even in the middle management. They have the skills of market intelligence, potential sourcing, product and service delivery, sales conversion. These are the branch, in branch, they are present in the branch. Beyond the branch, there are the direct selling associates. These are the direct selling agencies, mostly the foreign banks, new generation private banks. They appoint DSAs to sell their product. Public sector banks, however, due to regulatory restrictions, they cannot appoint DSAs on a full time basis. Also, DSAs are found to be involved in mis-selling the product and the customer falls into the debt trap. So, when we appoint the DSAs, we should be very careful about that, right? There's also the option of tie-up arrangement. In a builder tie-up model, how are the home loan proceeds adjusted when the banks finance both the builder and the buyer? The loan proceeds to the buyers are routed through the builder's account. The buyer's loans proceeds are adjusted against the builder's project loan. Builder repays the buyer's loan directly. The builder's EMI is shared between the builder and the bank. So when the bank they come in a tie-up with the builders as a preferred financer, special concessions like waiver of the processing charges, documentation charges, mortgagation charges will be offered. Banks will approve the specific projects of the builder and express their interest to finance the individual projects. Builders will in turn refer their buyer customer to the bank for the home loan. In this scenario, the banks will finance the builder and enter into an arrangement with the builder for repaying the loan from the proceeds of the sales to the different buyers. So the correct answer is B. Directly, the bank is going to finance the builder, and the builder will repay the loan from the sale proceeds. All right. In the co-lending model, what is the maximum permissible share of direct exposure? Co-lending model between the banks and NBFCs, right? Banks, they have the benefit of higher capital, right? NBFCs have the benefit of greater reach. So, what is the exposure limit? 100%, 50%, 80%, or 20%. So, minimum 20% by the way of direct lending exposure should be retained by the NBFC, and maximum 80% can be retained by the bank, right? So the correct answer is C, maximum 80%. Minimum 20% should be provided by the NBFC. Which of the following statements are true about the operational requirements under the co-lending model? Banks and NBFCs must publish the board approved policies on their website. The term NBFC includes the HFCs. Co-lending must be limited to one NBFC per bank. The model is only applicable to the non-priority sector lending. No. Statement 3 and 4 is incorrect. All right, banks they can enter into a co-lending model with more than one NBFCs as well. Separate MOUs will be entered, and the loans that are eligible are priority sector advances as per the guidelines issued by RBI. So loans to the weaker section, MSME sector, to the startups, renewable energy, agriculture sector. All right. So the correct answer is A. Now, next we have the customer relationship management. Customer relationship management, there are three terms. Customer, who is the buyer of the products. Relationship means the service quality should match the expectation. Management means on an ongoing basis, dynamically we should track the requirement, offer matching products and service, cross-selling and upselling. So CRM means customer centricity, capturing their profile, designing suitable products, offering them the product in the right with the right pricing, providing the right sales, minimizing the response time. CRM is required to increase the operational efficiency, derive more values from the employees. Increasing competition is there, rising NPAs is there. To control of all of this, CRM is required. So how does the CRM work? We collect data from verbal communication between the staff and the customer through the internet by analyzing the behavior of the customer. Email advertising, we can send them questionnaires and see their response. And telephone marketing, a new product can be introduced to the customer and the response can be taken whether or not they are interested. Then this data is collected and we classify it appropriately. We insert the data into the organizational database, analyze the data, and then the data is disseminated to be used by the various components, by the support team, the selling team, the marketing team, and the management team, right? So the common features would be marketing automation. For example, the sales prospects they come into the system might automatically send them the marketing material. Salesforce automation can also be there to prevent duplicate efforts. Contact center automation can be there. Chatbots can be developed to solve the customers' problems. And geolocation, marketing campaigns on the basis of customers' physical location can be done. So these are the main components, right? Now let us answer some question. Which of the following is a key enabler of CRM success in banks? Limiting the customer interaction to digital channel, static customer segmentation, technology enabled profiling and dynamic data tracking, product centric rather than customer centric approach. No. CRM is customer centric approach and it uses technology enabled. We create the profiles of the customer, we classify them on the basis of their demands and requirements, and then we offer them the products. Which of the following CRM features is primarily designed to prevent duplicate efforts? Marketing automation, contact center, geolocation, or sales? It is the Salesforce automation, right? meant to prevent the duplicate effort between the salesperson and a customer. So once a customer has already been reached, communication has been given, another salesperson will not contact them separately. Which of the following is not a main component? Managing relationship through distinct lifestyle phases, automating the internal audit process, recognizes the non-homogeneous value distribution, building the customer relation. So when we are talking about the components of the CRM, there is business process to determine the nature of the products, information process to analyze the existing information process, information systems are there, and the internal organizational structure. But we do not automate the auditing process. The internal auditing process should be done by the officers. It should not be automated. All right. Which of the following is not a direct component of the CRM implementation challenges? Business process orientation, information flow, ATM network, or legacy? Actually, the CRM basically deals with the information, how it is collected and disseminated. So, ATM network expansion will not be a direct component. ATM network expansion can come under the decision information system, right, where we can decide which physical location should be selected for more ATM establishment. Which of the following is a prerequisite for customizing the CRM? Replacement of the legacy system? No, we need to implement the CRM which is in line and it supports the already existing systems. Evaluate the current business process. Outsourcing standardization. So, evaluation of the current business process is an important prerequisite, key prerequisite of the CRM solution. That is all from the CRM part. Very easy. Actually, from the module D, unit 18 and unit 21 are important. Rest everything is very generic. Unit 18, which was the delivery channels. Unit 21, that is the service standards for retail banking, wherein the BCSBI has been formed. Right? The Banking Codes and Standard Boards of India. Consider the following statements about the BCSBI. It was created to benchmark the customer service practices. The code is mandatory for all the banks. It overrides the RBI guidelines. It is not a grievance redressal forum. It continues to influence the customer service policies post dissolution. See, what is the BCSBI? Actually, a committee was constituted under the chairmanship of Shri S.S. Tarpure. The objective was to address the issues relating to availability of adequate banking services to the common people, to make sure that their rights are being followed, they are getting the customer rights and the rights for the MSME, to suggest steps to improve the quality. This committee recommended setting up of the Banking Codes and Standard Board of India, and it gave out two codes: Code of Conduct for the customers and Code of Conduct to the MSMEs. Right? But it is a voluntary code of conduct. It does not replace or supersede the instructions of RBI. So 1, 3, and 4 is correct. Also, it is not a grievance redressal mechanism. For the grievance redressal, we have the ombudsman. All right. So the BCSBI was created for this purpose. Now the BCSBI has been dissolved. In its place, the CEPD has been set up, but still it is an important topic because the codes are being utilized as a guidance for the banks when they are providing the services to the customers. Okay. A customer named Raghav receives a promotional SMS from the bank offering a new investment product. The SMS lacks the details on risks and charges. Upon visiting the branch, he is pressured to sign a contract with complex terms. Later, he finds hidden charges and files a complaint. The bank promptly reverses the charges and informs him of the escalation process. Which of the following rights were violated or upheld? The right to fair treatment was upheld, transparency was violated, right to suitability was violated, grievance redressal was upheld, right to privacy was violated, fair treatment was upheld, right to transparency and grievances were both violated. So here, wrong or incomplete information was given, but the grievance redressal was upheld. So the right to suitability was violated, but the problem was resolved by the bank. What are the rights given to the customers under this code? Right to fair treatment. The customer will not be discriminated on the basis of age, race, gender, marital status, religion, or disability. Right to transparency, timely, adequate information in one or more languages that the customers understand through SMS, email, right? Right to suitability, only those products that are appropriate to the customer's needs should be offered. Right to privacy, the customer's information should be kept private and confidential. And grievance redressal, correcting the mistakes promptly, cancelling any bank charges applied by mistake. So the correct answer is B. For the code compliance rating, BCSBI takes the technical assistance of the rating agency. Now, the BCSBI, as a part of its monitoring, as a part of its mandate, it has created a code compliance rating, right? They visited the sample of branches, conducted the customers interview, took their feedback, and on the basis of data and the feedback, they gave score to the member banks, right? For this, the BCSBI took the help of the rating agencies, CRISIL, right? Only CRISIL's help was taken. Okay. Match the parameters for rating. The five parameters designed were information dissemination, transparency, customer centricity, grievance redressal, customer feedback. A total score of 100 is there, right? Information dissemination has the score of 20. Transparency has 22. Customer centricity has been given the highest score, 30. Grievance redressal has 15 and the customer feedback is 13. So the correct answer is D. Based on this, if the customer has a score, let's say 55, the customer will fall under below average. If they have a score, let's say 90 out of 100, the customer will have the score of high. All right. So the scoring which is done and the category that is given is, if the score is 85 and above, more than 85, the bank's rating is high. 70 to 85, the bank's rating is above average. Then 60 to 70, it is average. And below 60, it is below average. The rating is available on the BCSBI's website as well as the bank website. The high or low rating will impact the image of the bank. So the customers can understand whether or not they want to participate. They will usually prefer the bank that has a higher rating, above average. All right. Next, with the adoption of the code of commitment to the customers by the member bank who were the members of BCSBI, the following voluntary codes would not be applicable. IBA has also released its own three voluntary codes. If a bank becomes a member of the code of commitment to the customers, they will no longer be required to become members of the Bankers Fair Practice Code, Fair Practice Code for credit card operation, model code for collection of dues and repossession of security. For those who do not become members of the BCSBI, those banks they continue to follow these three voluntary codes set up by IBA. So either the IBA codes or the BCSBI code. Any one can be followed by the banks. RBI has decided to dissolve the BCSBI. Out of the following, which will act as the nodal department? Which department has replaced or superseded the BCSBI? Is it the Consumer Education and Protection Department? Is it the Banking Ombudsman Scheme of 2006, Ombudsman Scheme for NBFCs, or the Ombudsman Scheme for Digital Transaction? See, the CEPD is now acting as the single nodal point for the receipt and disposal of all external complaints, and the BCSBI was dissolved and CEPD took its place. So the correct answer is A, right? So administering the banking ombudsman scheme and acting as the nodal department of the erstwhile BCSBI, that is the role of CEPD. Now there were previously the three ombudsman schemes were there, they now have been merged, right? Earlier we had the ombudsman scheme, banking ombudsman scheme 2006, ombudsman scheme for NBFCs 2018, and the ombudsman scheme for digital transaction 2019. They have been now integrated into the RBI integrated ombudsman scheme of 2021. Okay. What is the impact of adopting the code of banks commitment to all the other voluntary codes? It makes all the other voluntary codes of IBA inapplicable. It requires all the banks to follow the fair practice code regardless of their membership with BCSBI. It continues the co- application of the model code. All the non BCSBI members continue to follow the IBA codes. Fourth statement is correct. Those who do not become members of BCSBI, they continue to follow the three codes of IBA. Other than that, it makes the other voluntary codes inapplicable. All right. So the fair practice code for the banks, the fair practice code for credit card operations, the model code for collection of dues and repossession, they become inapplicable for the members of BCSBI, and those who do not become members, they continue to follow the IBA codes. Which of the following human interventions are crucial in the delivery effectiveness of physical channels? Automated systems like ATMs and online banking, internal customers, specialized marketing personnel, DSAs. When we are talking about the physical channels, it is 2, 3, and 4. Automated systems, they come under the remote or the online delivery channels. All right. What is the indicator of progress in the MKIS? Now, the MKIS is the last unit of our module D, the marketing information system. There are various systems: the management information system, computer information system, decision support system. Basically, all of them they play a role for the management of the firm, right? In order to carry out the marketing function, the firms they require information and data in respect of the various impacts, various aspects impacting the product or the service. This function is provided by the marketing information system: collecting and assembling data, processing of data, analyzing the data, storage and dissemination of information. All right. So, what is an indicator of the progress? The company's overall status, company's historical marketing strategies, frequency of the marketing campaigns, or the size of the marketing department. What is an indicator of the success of the progress? When the company's overall status in the industry improves. It means that the company is taking or implementing a good marketing information system. All right. Next, what are the key subsystems of the MKIS? Internal record system, marketing intelligence system, marketing research system, financial management system. So there are four components, but financial research system is not one of them. The fourth component is the marketing management and science system. So the correct answer is A, 1, 2, and 3. The internal marketing system information is available from the internal sources like the sales turnover, cost, cash flow, reports of the salesmen. They also give valuable information. Marketing intelligence system is the secondary sources, the newspapers or magazines or data published by government organizations or central statistical organization. Marketing research, they conduct research like surveys, questionnaires, and the fourth component combines all the above three. What are the features and requirements of the 99 hash USSD service? For the feature phone users who do not have internet connectivity, they can simply dial this number and avail the banking transaction. It does not require internet connection. It is operable through a common code across all the GSM handsets, available only on the smartphone, no, on the feature phone, and the users need to have a KYC compliant bank account. So the correct answer is 2 and 4. So for the feature phone users who do not have internet connectivity, they can send and receive funds, check the balance account. They can also request for money, check their Aadhaar seeding status, receive the DBT as well. All right. Which marketing mix component initially received the most MKI support? Price, promotion, product, or place? In the beginning, the MKI support was basically given to the product feature, the product. Later on, it was given to the price and planning as well. But in the beginning, only product was given due importance. Which task has shown significant increase in the use of decision models? Approving customer credit, computer reorder, economic order quantity computation, selection of advertising. So in today's time, earlier the use of computer was not there. The majorities of the companies that had MKIs, they were not using the computers. But right now there has been an increase in the use of computers, and very recently a selection in the advertising media. Right now, not only SMS or emails, but social media campaigns are also being done for advertising. So recently, increase in the advertising media selection is observed. Which group is identified as the major user of the MKIS? The top level executives, middle level managers, frontline sales staff, or external consultants. The MKIS is being utilized basically by the middle level managers, right? More companies, they're also using the low level managers are also receiving more support, but the top level managers are not using the MKIs. Last question: which of the following is not a primary data gathering subsystem? We collect data from the internal sources, the external sources, internal accounting, but not Salesforce automation. All right. We collect data from the salesman report, from the interaction of the customer and the staff, from the various external newspapers. But Salesforce automation is not a primary data gathering subsystem. That is all. Like I already told you, the module C is very simple, completely theoretical. We have completed the whole module C. Only 6 units are there. But definitely case study questions were asked in the previous exam cycle, so you cannot skip this module. You can definitely expect 5 to 10 or maybe 15 mark questions from module C, and we'll be covering it in detail in our CIB Super Elite plan. You'll get access to all the courses. Right now, we are in the Crash plus Cracker batch. You'll also get MCQ practice, the full length mock test, module wise test, everything. So, if you want to prepare and also your exams are very close now, so join the JIB Super Elite and attend these classes on a live daily basis so that you can qualify your exam in this very first attempt. Also, join the Telegram channel if you're preparing for the bank promotion exams. So, it is a bank promotion exam by Oliveboard. You can simply scan here on this QR code and you'll be able to join the Telegram channel. Here, you'll get quizzes and polls, the YouTube classes updates, and important updates and notification. That is all for today. You will get the link to the PDF. You can download the PDF, use it for your revision. There's also the link for the PDFs for 1200 plus expected MCQs, questions covering all your four papers. It is given in the comment box. From there, you can avail it. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Olive Board JIB CIB channel, because right now we also have module D and E that we'll be covering the next weekend. So thank you so much. All the best and have a great day ahead.